Welcome to the Dixiecryptid YouTube channel. My name's Cam Buckner, and all we do is tell stories. We don't do research. Don't consider this channel a source for research for Bigfoot. This is simply a story channel. It's all we do. It's all we do is tell stories. Real stories that people send us, and they claim they're true. I am under quite the heavy workload at the moment. I am trying to find time to do podcasts. Some of the next few podcasts might be short until I get out of this slug of work. But I love doing this. I want to keep doing it. So if you guys will be patient with me, we'll just keep trucking with this thing a little bit at a time. I have a story from Julie. It's going to be the only story in this podcast. I want to share it with you. It's quite exciting. It's not very long, but it's very exciting. Julie writes, "My name is Julie, and I went to Yellowstone in 1988 with my father to celebrate my high school graduation. We went to a picnic spot right behind the Yellowstone Lodge. There was a grill to the left and a picnic table to the right. We started to put out the food and the utensils and started the grill to have a bite to eat. All of a sudden, we felt threatened. A rock came flying at my head. I poured water on the grill and ran to the car, and we left everything there. I snapped one photo. And then Rock 2 hit the car, and I looked up on the ridge, and standing there was a giant 10-foot mucky chocolate brown bipedal creature growling at us. I could see small eyes, a brow ridge, a cone head, and a flat gorilla nose, huge canines, top and bottom, bigger than a gorilla's. Long arms reached down to the knees. I could see hands, not paws. I could see the feet, and the big toe was sticking out, but the feet looked like ours, except when he walked, he did so picking up the front of the foot and put it down. Legs were thick and looked like tree trunks, very muscular and short. Round eyes, and they were brown in color. The scream was primate, or a tiger scream that filled the whole area, and I could feel it in my chest. And there was that awful smell, like a dead dog or garbage rotting in the sun. It would make you sick. Oh man, these smells just crack me up. Okay, I'm sorry I do that, y'all. It just hits me when I read them. I think back on all the funny descriptions of smells. This girl had a traumatic experience, and I'm not trying not to laugh at the story, but the smell descriptions, you have to admit, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. When it ran, the knees were at a 90-degree angle, and they were bigger than ours, and I could see the fur just coming off the body. When we got to the car and started to leave, this huge creature chased us down the road. It chased us 7,500 feet down the road. Dad told me to keep going, and I was trying to go faster. I looked behind us, and there he was. I put the car in faster gear, and we got away. And then he turned off into the woods. We drove all the way back to Jackson, and we got on a plane, and we left. We made it home, and we left all the gear there on the ground. We didn't care. The Bigfoots could have it. I felt that we were food and that he wanted to do serious damage. Maybe he wanted us out of the area. What I saw was another creature hiding behind a tree. And all I saw was eyes. I've studied wildlife, conservation, animal science, birds, fire science, and virology. I don't know if that's virology, virology. I'm not sure what that is. This was no bear, because when a bear stands up, the paws are up in front of the body. This had no ears, and the fur was thick and long. It had 2 legs, and it knew how to throw rocks. I'm sorry that many say these things are gentle, because they are not. I feel like David Pilates is right. The people who go missing because these creatures are taking them. They do not want us in their area of the woods. To me, being chased away meant stay out, you're not wanted, go away. I got the message loud and clear. I refuse to ever step in the woods again. The nightmares have not stopped, and I feel stuck in the woods. And I see this thing come after me, and it was the scariest face I've ever seen. And now, reading what I've written on paper, it makes it more real. Leave them alone and stay out of the woods. For me, I love the woods, but now I know the best thing to do is to stay in the city parks where I'm safe. I would hate to think if this happened at night that it would have been fatal. I understand the park not saying anything, but I feel people should know for their safety. If you go in the woods, do so at your own risk. This is my story, and I'm not lying or trying to get attention. This really happened. This is what I saw. You can believe it or not. Many say that they're not real and then explain the DNA, print, scat, hairs, vocal calls. They are real and they are out there. What are they? I don't understand. Some kind of link between man and us. Until one is presented, we will not know. She signs off, Julie. That story is one that I did not edit for, to polish it up and make it sound real good. And you can kind of feel how kind of choppy it is. There's very little punctuation, and I'm not criticizing Julie. Probably 90% of the stories I get are like that, are written like this. And that's why when I say we edit these, we edit them for a good listening experience for you. And so bring on the criticisms. I know it's coming that all these are fake stories, but they're not. They're not fake stories. They're actually emails that people send me, and we clean them up and we make them sound good. But back to this story, Yellowstone Park, 1988. They stop for a picnic. Something throws a rock at them. It spooks the Julie and her father. They douse the fire, get in the car, and then this thing throws another rock and hits the car and then chases them down the road. Now, that's pretty spooky. I mean, but you know what? I don't have many stories where people actually run into these things in Yellowstone. This may be one of the very few, if not the only story that I can remember that has an event in Yellowstone. And that's kind of interesting. Yellowstone's quite the beautiful remote area. All I know is grizzly bears. I want to ride my motorcycle through Yellowstone, and I wonder if a grizzly bear could chase me down on a motorcycle. I bet he could. And boy, if you slip in the gravel, they got you. Maybe I'm just a scaredy cat, but anyway, this was a great story. I wanted to crank one out to keep these podcasts going. I should be done with this work in a couple of weeks and get back to doing some longer podcasts. But between now and then, I'm going to stop in the morning, do one or two short stories, and put them up in a podcast. Hope you guys are okay with that, and we will see you on the next podcast. Thank you.